As a landholder, do you know what your stock and domestic water needs really are? And do you know if you've got enough water stored on your property to meet those needs? The focus here in this project is on stock and domestic water needs and to assist landholders build their farm water security for dry seasons and drought.
We had a number of landholders who took on this process and established a well-designed stock watering reticulation system and also enhanced farm dams.
Know your numbers, know your needs, know the gap, and have a plan.
We sat down and did a farm water management plan with Paul a couple of months ago, and I suppose the biggest thing that it identified to us was how our dams really couldn't keep up with our water needs, particularly in a dry year. That we basically worked on, based on how much water we could catch in our dams, that most of that would be lost to evaporation before we even put the stock in to access that water. So over the last 15 to 20 years, our family's really been transitioning to a stock reticulation system made up of troughs and head tanks and pumping, which has really opened up our opportunities for better grazing management and better feed use efficiency.
Ash has not only improved the farm water security on his property, but through a well-planned reticulation and paddock design system has significantly increased the sustainable carrying capacity and farm profitability on his property.
When I went away to uni and studied, I learned a lot about cell grazing and rotational grazing and really come home with the ideas that I could see how it was most beneficial to not only our business but also the landscape in which we're farming. So being on granite country, hilly country, it needs rotational grazing. So set stocking was really just deteriorating the system, and so we needed to move to a more sustainable system, and a key part of that was getting more troughs and more water into the system so we could actually move stock around more. So some of the key things we've implemented here is we've subdivided paddocks into smaller paddocks. We've trenched in pipes. We've put in a diesel pump to pump water to a head tank. From those head tanks we gravity feed out into square troughs, and which gives us greater access to water all year round. And throughout these dry and drought periods we get better utilisation of feed in our paddocks. We've chosen to go down the path of rectangular troughs as opposed to round troughs. Simply we find the sheep can get better access to the water in the rectangular troughs, and we get less issues with sheep getting in the troughs. The water and farm water reticulation plan has been a big part of not only our grazing system but also our bushfire management planning. On each of the head tanks we've put in the stores fittings so the fire trucks can pull up and fill up if they need to in an emergency. We can flick taps and join tanks together so we've got a big bulk of water there if ever we're faced with that bushfire coming over the hill.
Landholders who have participated in the project have found it very enlightening, helpful in building their farm water security. If you want more information or assistance, check out the local Land Services Farm Water Management Planning webpage.